Hi, this past summer I thru-hiked the Colorado Trail, and I'd like to go through the gear that I took along on the hike. So first I'll go through the pockets on my pack. I had 3 smart water bottles. One of them I had this Evernew top, but I put a regular camelback end on it. And the other one. And the third one I used for dirty water to filter, and I had a Sawyer squeeze filter on it. And then I also had a Gatorade bottle that I used for mixing Gatorade or whatever else. I tossed it at Lake City because I had no more Gatorade. Took an umbrella. This was great when it was raining or hailing, especially up on the divide. It's a great wind block. So the wind's coming from your left, you stay a lot warmer. I had this bandana I mostly wore over my head, under my hat, to keep the sun off. I had a pair of Fizan poles. I really only walked with one or neither. So I was glad I put these little ties on my back to hold them while I wasn't using them. Of course, I had the Colorado data book. I mostly kept it in here, inside a plastic bag. This was one of my favorite pieces of gear. I wore it every morning and in the evening when I got cold, but this is a wind jacket. It's really light, but it actually is really good for keeping you warmer on those cool mornings or cool evenings. Keeps the wind off. When I'd stop, I'd put it on. I had a spot device to track my hike and say I'm okay in the evening when I got to camp, so family back home could see how I was doing. I have a small Swiss Army knife classic on here. Tied it to there so I wouldn't lose it. This was a head net. Never used it. Wish I didn't bring it. This is a rain skirt from Z-Packs. It worked well, but I only used it hiking once. I used it to sit on a couple times. This is my poop kit. I had some toilet paper and a little bottle of hand sanitizer. Had a bag to put used TP in. Deuce of Spades trowel. And I guess in here right now is another thing of toilet paper. A bottle that I put a bunch of sunscreen in. I used it the first day. I never used the sunscreen afterwards. Probably should have, but I didn't. This is cord and stuff for bear bagging my food. Cord's inside, put a rock in here, throw it over a tree branch and hang your food. Never hung my food. That was kind of a waste. Another bandana. This is my headlamp. It's pretty light. Takes 2 AAA batteries. I think it's 1.5 ounces or so. This is a syringe for backwash flushing my filter, and then there's a couple of spare bottle caps. One for the bottle with the Evernew hose, and the other for the bottle with the filter on it. And some Body Glide. It's pink, yeah, don't ask. So that's everything outside the pack. The pack is a Rayway kit that I sewed by Ray Jardine and his wife Jenny. It's a great little pack, weighs about 10 ounces. Can't beat it. So inside I had a Melanzana hoodie. I put this on every day when I got to camp. I only hiked in it once. Got some big storms near the end of the hike, and I got cold, so I put it on so I could keep my hands warm. It's an OR Helium 2 rain jacket. I used this a couple times. I didn't even need it actually. Just used it because it was convenient, and I had it when I was setting up camp in the rain a couple times, but I could have just used my umbrella. I never used it hiking. I would use the wind jacket and my umbrella, and that worked great. So this is a Z-Packs food bag, and food-wise inside it, I had a couple of these OP sacks that I put all my food in each night, and any smellables in these. The biggest gripe I have with this food bag is that these don't fit in it. So I think these fit in the op sack better, or the sack I mean. I think they kind of are made for that, but they don't fit in this, so it's a pain. And I had a cozy to cook my food in, a spoon, and a small cup for measuring the water. The other cooking part, I have an Evernew 0.9 liter pot, and got it from Z-Packs. So it comes with this cover, which is pretty tight, which is the worst part about it. Pot's great, it's slow and wide, so the water heats up quickly. I had a little towel to dry things off, mini Bic liner, fuel canister, and my stove. It's not the Snow Peak, but it's almost exactly like it. It's a Covia Superlight. So, and this is just some case for it that I had lying around. So this, instead of the bandana, mostly to keep things from rattling around when I hike. This little bag with some spare rope, which helped when I pitch my tarp. Sometimes you need more rope. Just a big tree to go put the rope around or whatever, or pitch it when there's not a tree. So I have a tarp. It's a Ray Jardine tarp that I hand sewed. I use little plastic ground sheet. And I also have an end I can put on the tarp. Jardine calls it a bat wing, so it'll close one end. I use this a couple times. It's good for stormy weather. One time I pitched my tarp the wrong direction and the wind was coming through the front of it, so I put this up to block the wind. I have some 12 of these shepherd stakes, titanium shepherd stakes. And my tarp. Another thing I brought that I wish I didn't is another Ray Jardine net tent. So there's bugs and stuff. You would pitch this underneath the tent. It's like a little bug net tarp. And I never used it, never needed to. I don't know if you ever would need to. The bugs on the Colorado Trail were never an issue for me. So this is my hygiene ditty bag. There's some pills. It's my first aid kit. Had ibuprofen, antidiarrheal, antihistamines, some band-aids, some Xanfil for poison oak or ivy. I never had to break this open. Toothpaste, some little wipes to clean my glasses, some medicated powder for any rash or chafing that might need healing, some earplugs, some little more aspirin, little sewing kit, toothbrush, little thing of soap, some dental floss, another hair thing, and this bag had my electronic stuff in it. This is an Anchor quick charge plug-in charger. It's got 2 outlets, a couple of cables, spare batteries for my camera, spare batteries for my headlamp, battery charger for my camera batteries, battery brick, and extra flash card for my camera. I also had this Gossamer Gear shoulder strap thing that would hook up here, and then I put my phone in it. I also carried a fanny pack. This is by Gossamer Gear. The pack's fine. I didn't like it because it was really hard. I got it to get easy access to my camera, and I just wasn't able to get my camera in or out of this easily. I mean, it'd struggle. It'd take 10 seconds or more sometimes to get my camera in and out of here. So I missed some shots of animals and stuff because I was fumbling to get my camera. But also in here I had my wallet, ID card, some money, pen, earbuds, a comb, I might have a Camry battery in here if I thought my camera battery might die, or same with the the flash card, and a stick pick. So you put this on the end of your poles and hook your camera to it. So I also had a little compass that sat on the end of this. Don't know where it's at, otherwise I would have had it in. Next, my clothes bag. I like my bags loose so I can level the stuff out. If everything's packed in or hard, it's like a big ball, but if it's loose, you can make it fit better. So I had some Montbell wind pants. I had pretty good weather, so I never really needed these. Camped one night on Snow Mesa, and the next morning I wore them a little bit. And one night camping with another guy, we sat around in the evening and talked for a while, and I had those on to help stay warm. So these are the straps for my quilt. I used one of them once just to see what it was like, otherwise I never needed them. So these are some Patagonia thermal weight leggings. Never hiked in these. I wore them to bed several nights. And this is an icebreaker wool top, 200 weight. Wore that to bed several nights. I brought 3 pairs of darn tough socks. I wore 1 pair and then I had 2 spares. They were actually worn to start with, so I actually ended up with holes in 2 pairs by the time I finished. This is a buff. Never used it. I'll probably never bring it on a hike again. I know some people love buffs, but I don't. So this is a beanie. I used it some, but I didn't need that much because I usually use a hood on my fleece hoodie. A pair of fleece liner gloves. And I also had a little Arrows pillow, blow-up pillow. This was nice for sleeping. And that's all the clothes I packed. This is a hat I wore. And the shirt, it's a Columbia Silver Ridge, I think. Worked pretty good. And then just a cheap pair of shorts by Hind, I think. So, and then I wore Dirty Girl gaiters, and these are the shoes I wore, some Ultra Lone Peak 3s. I actually put about 200 miles more on these once I got back home, so they lasted pretty good. I don't know why I haven't thrown them away yet, though. Alright, so for sleeping, this is a Thermarest Neo Air X Lite, regular. I just fold it in thirds and then a half, and stuff it between the quilt and my back. This is my quilt. It's in a stuff bag I made. You can twist that and turn it so it's waterproof. My quilt's an Enlightened Equipment Enigma 20 degree. So this works pretty well. One thing I like about it is it's got 2 snaps on the side, which holds things down pretty good. But if you don't need them, or at any rate, it's got this draw cord to put it around your neck, but it's in the center. So I could always tell if it was centered right by where this was. So if I pulled it up and it was off to the side, I knew to pull it over. So I really like the location of this. And then I had everything in my pack in this Z-Pack bag, which is supposed to be waterproof, but it's not anymore. Basically, if I get really sweaty in here, the sweat would soak through this, and I'd see sweat on my air mattress when I take it out. But I think it'd still work for rain, but I'm just going to use a plastic bag from now on. This was expensive, and I don't think it worked. So that's it. Everything I took on the Colorado Trail last summer. Had a great hike. Thank you for listening.